I can
Neither
almost
do I, but they each have their own individual names.
I can almost remember the offensive one because we characterized him a little bit, the ninja-looking dude, but literally all the rest, nah, they kind of just min-maxed for shields.
Yep.
And then ridiculous Aizen bullshit. Reversing time. Thanks, Aizen. That's great.
Something about how her powers negate the will of God.
Yes. You know, when you think about that, doesn't that like more like imply things about the Soul King, since he would be the closest equivalent to a god that we have in this show?
Yes, but then there's a lot of things where Kubo will start to set up a plot, but then not actually do anything with them. Mercifully, he doesn't do it the Toriyama way, where he has to write an end to that subplot before it can develop. No, he just lays the groundwork or a hint for something, and then just doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't have to make it overt that he's canceling an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this game is all over the fucking place. I'm almost beginning to believe we might not even get Uryu's released form right now, but it's whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect with this.
There's 25 more minutes of this story. How far do you think it's gonna go?
See, I thought for sure we were gonna stop at the tower, but with seeing Ichigo's Bankai, like, I don't even know anymore.
I think it would be self-evident.
Probably at the Byakuya fight, but like, I don't know. This game is all over the place. We don't even have Nemo here, so it's hard to gauge like how much exactly we're actually gonna get out of this.
Nemo isn't playable in any game outside of Heat the Soul. She doesn't appear in Shattered Blade or versus Crusade either.
Oh god, you're right. Oh god, it's a weird thought. And boy, how much that would not hold up these days, if, especially post Blood War arc. Holy crap!
Yeah, she actually has something relatively important to do.
Yeah, she kind of blew herself up, if I remember that correctly. Finding only the right hand of the Soul King.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, really hoping that we actually get a game to go with the anime.
Yeah, because holy fucking shit, there's so much you can work with for the Blood War. You know, Bankai, Kyoraku, that weird attacking mode that Mayuri had. Nemu like fighting that in a way that's gonna destroy her own body, yeah.
You look at it realistically, the anime is probably going to go for about 100 episodes, since it's 200 chapters of the manga that were left at the time. So it's going to go for at least 2 years.
So do you think it would still include filler in that? See, on the one hand, there's no reason to, but on the other hand, Pierrot is still doing that with Naruto, so I don't really know what to expect.
I think they would I think they will, but in the sense that they do little one-off episodes, like something they started doing towards the end in the last 70 episodes was they would do a Halloween episode, or they would do a New Year's episode or something. So you might get a holiday-themed episode, but you're not going to get like 5 or 6 or 20 episodes of an individualized arc in between events.
Yeah.
They're not going to do something that stupid ever again.
God, you're doing some of those attacks with Uryu, and I just got straight up Toho vibes with some of them, including the delayed arrows.
Yeah, you could do some pretty neat things. The restricted controls make it a little harder, though. That's why I say I like Shattered Blade better, because whether or not you like the Wiimote, it does give you more range of controls.
Also, the sheer lacking of physical attacks I was seeing in Uryu there was not helping matters either.
Yeah, so if someone gets in close, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it seems like it. Also, just the sheer fact that, well, Shadow Blade also gives you hyper advanced fucking running speed, so that also kind of helped a lot matters too.
You have a dash in this game too, but because you're fighting on on a Tekken plane, it's really only a backdash and a forward dash, and that's not as useful as you think, especially considering your dash also takes up meter.
Yeah, I can't imagine any reason why you'd ever want to jump in this game. Like, if probably could have just straight up gone for like a regular Soul Calibur control style, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Well, this is Sega, so is it a good thing or a bad thing that it wasn't just straight up Virtua Fighter?
Hard to tell. Also, wow, we are getting the Bankai training. Okay, we're getting this far at least. I'm expecting a very contrived cutoff point, though. Practice makes perfect. Thanks.
Sort of.
Oh, hi, Renji.
He did show up here. He had to do his own Bankai training.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that.
We also just completely swapped landscapes between shots. This is Urahara's training cave.
Yeah, we got the sky down here. That was not present during Yoroichi's training camp.
No, that one... I mean, basically. Yeah, no, that one was actually built into a mountain. It was actually a cave.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is one way of filling time.
Alright, so he's informing us that for whatever bullshit reason, they moved up the date of the execution to 2 days from now instead of another 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because they were like, yeah, we're going to hold the execution in 30 days, and then we're going to hold it in 1 week, and then we're going to hold it, like, tomorrow.
To be fair, they kind of did know that bumping it up to 2 days from then would definitely draw out the invading forces out in the open in order to kill them off.
Remember, it was Aizen that kept doing that. Because Aizen had already killed the entire Central 46, so he was the puppet controlling the shadow government.
True.
And making all the decisions the whole time. But just imagine if they did have the remaining 2 weeks and Ichigo was doing his Bankai training the whole time.
Yeah, no kidding. That would probably have... Byakuya would not be in for a fun time at all.
Imagine him actually having some control of his Bankai.
Although, to be fair, that would also training in Bankai in 2 days, or for like 2 weeks, I imagine Yoroichi would actually start to see Hollow Ichigo starting to bleed out a little bit, and she'd probably have asked about that.
Yeah, you know, that's when she would have done the Jiraiya thing and placed another seal on him.
Probably.
Don't let more than 4 lines come up on his mask.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it really is just a dry thing. Hey, it's they're doing that on my birthday, October 11th. Cool.
Sure. It's summer right now, so it's supposed to be July or August. Which is funny because the timeline is actually fucked. They make this excursion specifically during summer break, but then when they come back, it's immediately like November or something, because it's like October or November, because it's like we're preparing for the Winter War. What are you talking about? It was July a week ago.
Abrupt time skip that was never mentioned?
So it would seem.
If you just want to say it's an oversight on Kuwa's part, I would not blame you. Wow. Huh. Those are some funny generic-looking ninjas.
Hey, if they're trying to blend into backgrounds, why are they wearing bright-ass yellow?
Yeah, no kidding.
You can't be a ninja and wear bright-ass yellow.
Oh, hey, it's this song. Yeah, this is the one that's often played before episodes start. This would have been great to play for Mayuri confronting Uryu. Just saying.
Yeah.
I do appreciate how Soifon and Ninjas in the background are at least color coordinated. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, because this was before events of the anime, these models aren't censored.
What am I missing on on them?
Well, come the anime, and Shattered Blade, you're no longer allowed to have someone be bareback.
Oh, you're talking about Soy Phone. Okay.
And Yoruichi later.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, it's okay. This game is pre-censor. See, look at her portrait.
Oh yeah, even more so. Like
has the
with the
underline.
side shot you got of Soy Phone just now, you even saw like her waist too.
Yeah, it's like you saw a G-string.
Guys, please, we're being too sexual now. Come on, we gotta think of the kids. And that 5 inches of skin they could possibly see. Oh no. Holy
Yeah,
shit, yeah, no kidding.
She's wearing a thong.
Yeah.
And
Although knowing how this goes, it's probably just a Fundoishi down there.
probably.
Which is probably seems even more uncomfortable, being honest. Oh yeah, there it is. She's doing it on you.
Yeah, just like I was saying. They don't do their ultimate most of the time out of the time stop. No, they just get a good combo on you. And these ones are annoying because they launch you pretty far away, so there's almost no chance of retaliation.
Yeah. Bareback? Damn. Oh no, there it is. Or not. Tease me with a fun time, why don't you, game?
It was there for a second.
Yeah, momentarily, yeah. Yeah, being honest, yeah, there actually is a surprising amount of skin being shown on Soy Phone. I'm not complaining it whatsoever. Frankly, hey, this probably just means that by default, this is her best model in existence.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In the manner of speaking.
It's so distracting now. Why did you betray me?
Baby, why did you go? Well, you see, a couple of people were
About to be
framed.
executed. Like 8 of our co-captains and co-lieutenants were about to be executed, so I think they took priority.
Pretty much.
For a crime they did not commit.
They were essentially
I'm sorry.
poisoned and started turning into monsters, and we don't understand what that is. And Yamamoto doesn't know what that is, and it's scary. So now we gotta kill them. And we're just like, nah, we're not doing that today.
That is some advanced victim blaming.
Yeah, no kidding.
But we can't explain that yet. We have to wait another 10 episodes. Or 5 episodes.
You know, I'll be honest, I often forget how strong Yoruichi actually is. Actually, truth be told, I haven't seen this fight in literally fucking years.
Me neither.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something I've been meaning to do forever, but just haven't had the time to do, is a full manga reread.
I kind of don't blame you. Frankly, that does sound like it'd be something in the works, because I did a full... That's fucking hilarious to look at. Just the 60 FPS, your rookie just floating in the air like that's a PNG. That was kind of great.
T-posing to assert ascendance.
Yeah.
T-pose to ascend to a higher plane. You were saying?
Yeah, so I did a full manga reread up until the Pain Invasion for Storm 2, so I've been meaning to honestly also reread keep rereading it for other future Naruto games, but yeah, Bleach is one I've also been kind of meaning to do as well, because I've never really fully read the full original Substitute Soul Reaper arc, so I feel like that would definitely be something in the works to go ahead and do. It would also be great context of seeing the series just evolve from like the very early rough designs that Kubo did have.
It's also a great way of doing a thorough personal examination on, as Kubo himself puts it, fourth level foreshadowing.
Please tell me he actually said that before.
Yes.
Oh my god, so hilarious.
He has multiple tiers of foreshadowing. such as things like in Chapter 3 of the series, when there's a backup at his clinic and he's trying to divert patients to another hospital. He says, call the head doctor of this hospital and tell him my name. He'll let them in without hesitation. And then we find out that the head doctor of that hospital is Uryu's father.
Oh, that's fucking gold.
We don't find that out for like another 150 chapters.
Oh, Jesus.
And things like the first time we see the Ichigo's father and Uryu's father on screen at the same time. And Ryuken calls him Kurosaki. And then Ishin's surprised by that. It's like, wait, you've never called me that name before. And you're supposed to just think, oh, he's being rude by calling him by his first name. No, you find out later it just means he's been calling him Shiba the whole time prior to that day.
That is very hilarious, actually. God.
Yeah, you gotta learn to look out for those things.
So what you're definitely telling me is that Kubo is definitely, like, he's great at long-form storytelling, not very great at short-term storytelling.
Yes. There's also stuff like, in the span of the first 10 episodes, seeing the first ever Arrancars that you won't see for 180 more chapters.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, he's playing the long game. And I still believe that when earlier you were reading the special one-shot, and they talk at the end about the Hell Butterflies and how those were introduced by name in Chapter 1. I really do believe he is playing the long game. However, I don't think he was intending it to take this long to get to that. I think that was a story he wanted to tell.
It's very possible he's taking notes of various... It's
run.
possible that while he writes, he takes notes of a lot of stuff and just jots them down. It's like, okay, maybe I'll do something with this later. Who knows?
Something to that effect. I think he comes up with most of the ideas well in advance. It's just a matter of whether or not he actually has the time to get back to them.
I'll be honest, that's some fucking Miura Berserk level shit right there. Like, in terms of, like, subdued storytelling. That's really fucking sick.
Yep. There's also other stuff, like, when Ichigo gets the combat pass, Uryu gives it a weird look. And then you find out near the end of the Fullbring arc that the combat pass was meant to limit Ichigo's powers and be a spying device.
Yeah.
And Uryu was like, I knew that thing was weird all along. Literally 300 chapters apart. Other things, like during the beginning of Wako Mundo, Ryu saying to an Arrancar that tell Aizen that his greatest enemy is not the Shinigami, but is actually the Quincy. So if you're keeping an eye out for it, there's a lot of shit like that goes throughout the entire series.
Apparently, goddamn.
Needless to say, the most famous and long-standing being, I am Zangetsu!
Yeah.
Boy, if only we knew.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why I had such, like, a weird euphoria, like, actually rereading the entirety of Naruto. You really get a lot more from something when you digest it in massive chunks and you don't have to wait weeks on end for it to just get through the legendary Talk no Jutsu, as people say. Really, it's just a matter of actual pacing with the chapter sometimes. That's a big issue. So it's just interesting. Like, I wonder how much I fucking get from rereading entirely Bleach now. Holy shit. Damn.
Oh, you'd be able to appreciate it way more in retrospect
Probably.
And in one go than over the period of 15 years.
So, I guess putting a pause on this, gushing over Kubo's writing really fast. So we just did the entire, I guess, while we were talking about that, I was watching the gameplay. So I guess we just did the fight with Byakuya on the Sokoku Hill without Bankai, except as an ultimate. And now we're going through the outro as if Ichigo doesn't have Bankai. This is very funny.
You're right, I hadn't considered that. He just goes back to Shikai.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll protect Rukia in the sequels. Oh, hello. Wow, they really are foreshadowing that.
Because Byakuya knows who that is.
I don't think Byakuya, like, really knew who Kaien was.
Yes, he did.
Like, did he ever make this connection himself? I thought it was only Rukia was making that connection.
He did, and so did Ukitake. He made that connection when they were on the tower, and he says straight out to Rukia, "I know he resembles that man, but he is not that man. You cannot treat him the same."
Yeah. If
is
only
funny
they
because,
all
well, he
knew.
might- Which is funny because, well, he may not be that man. He is that man's blood.
He is essentially as close to that man as you can reasonably get without being direct siblings. Ending. Thank you.
So we are skipping over one element of the story. You're sort of right. But to be... I want to say that they did not include the final element of this story arc to avoid spoilers, but
The whole
that
Aizen
element
thing,
is
yeah.
still... Yes, but that element is still technically in the game regardless, as we'll see at the very end.
I can imagine. Probably either through the extras or somewhere in Byakuya's story, I imagine.
Sort of. At least. Well, you know what? It could be that they want to avoid spoilers, or maybe it's that they want to end the game on a happy note, because Ichigo getting stopped by a single finger against Aizen for just really deflating would have taken the wind out of the climax's sails.
Yeah, I can imagine. So it's weird just seeing the entire Soul Society without the subplot, but very important subplot of Aizen's defection. So it just feels very empty without that, you know? Like it's still decent, but it's just empty without it.
Also, the subplot where Aizen gets murdered and it turns out to have just been a doll.
Yeah.
And this is a different song that you were going to be muting.
Is this an ending credit song?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
I only played the opening twice, but I do leave the ending in all 3 times, and that's because there's a different ending sequence each time.
Does it matter if you can't skip this, or there's something important here you want to show up that you can't skip?
I actually don't know if you can or can't skip. I didn't try. It's
Yeah.
something really important. It's just that the visuals are different each time, so I figured it's worth showing off because again, who else is ever going to do that?
True.
And,
Yeah.
It gives us time to unwind afterwards because this goes for like 3 minutes.
That's true. So we've gone an hour into this, and somehow you haven't mentioned that thing that's happening 2 weeks from today.
I was going to earlier, but then you distracted me with something else that was happening in the present. Yeah, so we're recording this in the beginning of December, after getting the news about the trailer and poster coming out of Jump Festa on the 18th. But we're a few weeks out from then, so we haven't seen it yet. And by the time this goes up, we'll have seen maybe even a second trailer, honestly. So hopefully everything looks fantastic. If they're that poster will be out by then. If you could throw that in, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Was it last year's Jump Festa where we actually did get the initial announcements of Bleach coming back and the whole Burn the Witch thing?
Actually, no. We got that announcement in March of 2020, not December when Jump Festa was. That's why people were complaining that it's taking so long, because they don't realize how long pre-production takes before actual production of a show or movie, which is something that I'm sure now you're well familiar with.
Sometimes you need pre-production for an anime. Trust me, Naruto would know this.
Yeah, pre-production can take a year, maybe even 2, before the product actually gets underway, and that's because you need to do things like lining up all of your production teams, lining up your assets, lining up your budget, things like that, promotion, what have you. There's a lot that goes into making anything.
Also,
It doesn't appear overnight.
Also, because keep this in mind, once you're going on the unfortunate weekly episodic run, you're not stopping, because it's Jump, because it doesn't stop. Thank you, fucking Naruto. I digress.
Because it's Pierrot. Yeah. Because it's Pierrot, and they're taking that model into the new decade with Black Clover. That started in
Ugh.
2017, but they still ran the episodic model. So it was 170 episodes at the time it ended, but it was 170 straight episodes with no breaks.
Oh my god, Piero, please fucking stop. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
Also, they're still doing that with Boruto.
I know, and I hate it there too. Dude, it's a fucking manga that comes out once every month with a new chapter. Just no, you're gonna quickly hit a brick wall with that one. Hell, they already kind of are. They're already almost caught up.
Yeah, it's all right. So it was the first time I was actually playing on the console anyway. Each of these stories. So after each one, you unlock stuff. So right now it's showing that I unlock 4 characters at a time plus a new story. Soldiers acquit themselves. Of course they do.
I would sure hope they do. I mean, one could argue it's the military-industrial complex that equips them. But, you know, that's getting into semantics.
Not equip, acquit.
Ah, I misread that then. Oh, oopsie. Anyway, time for a red-haired man to explode.
Red pineapple.
Woo.
See you next time.